Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, May 5th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about this tool and how it can be used to make good decisions as a trader, then this will be a video for you. Real quick, before I get to the watch list, I first want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class here that I'm offering very soon. So if you're liking what you see as I go through the video and you want to learn more about this tool, then certainly get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So again, if you like what you see, certainly get signed up for the free class. Real quick, a couple of clarification points. Number one, this price over here will still be moving, and this candlestick will still be moving. That is because the market's open for a little bit of time. So you're not seeing things. You don't have to go to the eye doctor or anything. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. But on that note, the market is close enough to being done for the day where everything I talk about will still be relevant as we head into Thursday. So stock number one here, AMC. Oh, and the other thing, I will be using the 30-minute time frame. So if you're a beginner, what that means is that each one of these candlesticks, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So today the AMC, or not the AMC, the FOMC, excuse me, released their minutes, and then Chairman Powell gave the speech, and apparently the market really liked what the Federal Reserve had to say here, as many stocks are having an extremely strong afternoon. So you're going to see a common theme here as I go through each of these. But pointer being AMD also had earnings, and you can see that after a pullback this morning, came right down to that former breakout area. So a classic example of that area of resistance then behaving as support, and then of course really made a big move to the upside. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of both these lines here as they've served their purpose for the time being, and we'll talk about some more near-term and relevant levels. And the first level here that I would talk about as support, and this is what I would call the ideal level right here at 98. Ideal meaning for Ask Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute best moving forward? And that would be if the price can stay above 98. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying that if the price drops below that area that the entire chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that. But if the price can stay above there, that'd certainly be a great sign of power. Taking a step back, looking at all this from the bigger picture point of view, that's where the purple line comes into play, the 50 paired moving average, keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line's just going to move itself higher and higher. So from a broad point of view, as long as the price is above that purple line, then the bulls are in full control of the chart. As far as next potential battlegrounds are concerned and areas of resistance, next main level to watch very closely moving forward, going to be right up there at, which makes sense, the big round number of $100. So keep a close eye on 100, but overall, very nice day here for AMD. Next one, SOFI, very, very impressive bounce here. Now, the interesting part with this one is this one was actually already having a good day before the Federal Reserve even gave its speech. So, I mean, it had already gained some momentum. A lot of stocks are just getting pulled up because of the overall market. But to be fair to this one, it was already having a good, strong day. So let's map out some areas of support and resistance. First level of support, in the near term, going to be more so right around that $6.95 mark. If you want to get a little bit more conservative and require a bigger pullback, another interesting level could be right down there at that pink line, the 200 paired moving average, which you can see has already behaved as support a couple of times, currently valued at $6.72. As far as areas of resistance, got to squeeze things down because it's been a while since the price has been up around here, which is always a good problem to have. Next key level being right here, or did the price break above it? No, actually slightly breaking above $7.15, basically right at that level, which is coming from this area. My head, no, there we go. Right from that area. So that'll be the big question mark moving forward. Again, the market is still open, and that's why I like to do these when the market's open, because we're capturing that breakout underway. And the market now closes in about 6 minutes. So we'll see where this ultimately closes. Obviously, by the time you watch this, because by the time I get it uploaded, you'll know exactly where this closes. But just understand that the further up above the price may close above $7.15. That's just the more stronger of a breakout that it actually is. Next one here, AMC. So now we're actually talking about AMC here and not the FOMC, but overall, another interesting day, but in some ways, a case of deja vu, because for those of you that have watched these past videos, you've heard me talk about this level over and over again, but it keeps showing up, and that level is right there at $16. So the price is getting right up around that area. So that does bring about the main question here headed into Thursday. First off, can the price even get up to 16? But if it does, can the price break above it and then stay above it? And even if it does, don't get me wrong, that's certainly a step in the right direction, but you'll have to be careful because not that far away is that pink line up there, the 200 period moving average, which because the price is down below it, that would be considered an area of resistance. However, one step at a time. Let's just first see if the price can even get above and stay above 16. But the good news is from how things started with the nasty gap down and then dropping all the way here, a very, very impressive recovery. So you got to note that. And now that we have more data, it's become very, very apparent now that where the majority of buyers are hanging out right here at $14.70. You can see once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. The price has been down around that general area, and it has continued to hold. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean that it's guaranteed to hold moving forward. I'm just pointing out that 1470 is by no means some sort of random area on the chart. It's got quite a bit of a track record. But as of now, kind of irrelevant because the price is now all the way up here. So the most relevant thing is all about $16, and can the price break up through it? Next one, NIO, and this chart is very, very simple moving forward. Now, just if you're kind of a beginner, the whole idea of a watch list is to find unique situations, to find interesting situations, and then, well, to watch them and then see how they behave moving forward. And if they behave in a way that best fits your personal strategy, well, then you can start to construct a trade plan around them. So I bring all that up because this is what I would definitely consider an interesting situation. What is that interesting situation? Well, for those of you that have watched past videos, hopefully you remember me putting in that resistance trend line right there, and check out the last 30 minutes. Last 30 minutes is now breaking up through that trend line, which brings about the very valid question of, is this the start of something bigger? Now, there are no guarantees, so maybe it's not the start of something bigger. Maybe this thing just goes right back to where it started, but that is a two-sided coin because, well, on the flip side of the coin, maybe it actually is the start of something bigger, and this thing keeps on breaking out moving forward. And that's going to be the main question moving forward. Is this breakout the start of something bigger? And yes, breakouts are, at least in my opinion, worthwhile events to, again, not just blindly buy, but to at least start to watch. So NIO finally got that breakout, not only of the trend line, but also of that pink line there, the 200 period moving average. So it broke through this essentially double whammy of resistance. And now let's see if it can get more momentum over the next few days. Next one here, SNDL. And I put this one back to back because same general premise, a little different. The premise here being what makes this interesting to watch? Well, the fact that now the price is knocking on the door of this key area of resistance. So yes, what we just looked at with NIO, that one has broken out. But now the question here is, okay, is this one about to break out? And if so, is that breakout going to build that much more upwards momentum? Like I said previously, it's a two-sided coin, so maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just gets rejected back down. However, if it is, well then, hey, this is a worthwhile, pattern, or I should say potential pattern breakout to watch, especially if you like to play this range down in the penny stocks. So I'm not going to repeat myself with everything. You get the general idea. Interesting situation, potential breakout. Now keep an eye on it and watch it. Next one here, PLTR, which, just kind of illustrates, I think, the best one of all the stocks of how crazy today was, because it started off a lot of stocks, such as PLTR, breaking down below supports. So that was a key level I talked about. Spending the morning breaking down below it, bleeding, and then just complete and massive turnarounds. So now it's just a question of, are all these bounces truly strong? We'll have to see what happens with it. But the first sign on whether or not this is a truly strong bounce is let's see if the price can at least stay above 1060. Why is 1060 important? And I'm not saying this will occur, but for explanation's sake, let's say the price comes down to 1060 and then falls down below it. What would that be doing to the price at that point in time? That would quite literally be putting the price right back inside of this range that it just broke out of today. And not to insult your intelligence, but price movements with genuine power are not going to go back to where they were. They're going to make at least some sort of form of progress, which brings about the question, okay, Clay, how are you defining progress? And that's the great thing about charts is they allow you to take words and then make them very visual. So when I say quote unquote progress, I mean this 1060 mark. If the price were to come down here, bounce around and then head back up, what would you still have? Well, you'd still have a set of lows there. You'd have lows there. And if you envision those as stair steps, you still have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. So in this situation, my definition of quote unquote showing progress is at minimum staying above 1060. Next one here, BHG. I'm not sure I've ever heard of this one. If I have, I can't remember the last time I've looked at it, but very nice movement today, very nice volume, and got the late day breakout. So map out some levels here moving forward. For those of you that like to play those pullbacks, interesting level right down there around $2.15. If you like to play more so trend lines, then there is a nice interesting trend line right there also, but since that's a support trend line, let me change that to green. Change up the colors to make it differentiate a little bit. So there's a couple different potential areas of support as far as levels of resistance are concerned. If this thing's going to keep on attempting a boom to the upside, the next definitely, big test that awaits is right up there at, I want to get this right, $2.37. So you can see we're back here. The price has been up around that area a few times and has struggled with it. Doesn't mean that the price can never break up through it, but it does, lead to reason that, yeah, the price could potentially have some problems up around that area, but that is certainly going to be the next key area of resistance. But overall, very nice day today. Let's see if this momentum carries into Thursday. Next one, AMRN, one of the few stocks that was actually red on the day, but this is sort of a cult stock in some senses, and I say that because cult stocks, no guarantees, but people are just looking for any and every reason to buy. And what I find interesting about this one is it gapped down, it came down, and then it just started to go sideways. Now, don't get me wrong, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because the price started to go sideways doesn't mean that for sure guaranteed this is the bottom. My point here is it at least plausible? Is it at least a rational thought to think, yeah, maybe this is some sort of bottom? Yeah, that is absolutely a plausible thought process to have. Again, not guaranteed, but plausible, and that's why risk management matters. But because of that, we now have a well-defined area of support right there at essentially $1.50. So keep an eye on that as, potential area of support and an area to help kind of gauge if this is still some sort of bottom and sideways formation. But my ultimate point here is now that we have a potential bottom and you know that people are just, drooling to try to potentially buy, then, you got to think that that could present a very tradable opportunity. Once again, no guarantees, but the thought process is there. And the key area of resistance that I'm very curious about right here at that $1.70 mark. So keep a close eye on $1.70, and if that can break up through there, then it stands to reason that could create some upside buying pressure. But you got to also admit that today was a brutal day, so risk management matters. But as of now, maybe this is some sort of bottom that's forming. Maybe the cult members are about to start pouring back in. We'll see what happens. Next one, CRXT, and not a whole lot of, there is one big, update to make, and that is this red line up here, which I talked about previously in another video at 87 cents. Didn't quite hit it exactly today, but certainly got close. So it stands to reason that, okay, maybe the price is going to, try to, ramp back up there, and if it does, can the price get the break up through that area? So keep a close eye on 87 cents. Again, not a new level that I haven't talked about before, but it does kind of stand out that much more now after today's price movement. But there has also been a pullback. But with the pullback, you got to keep in mind that as of now, these lows have still gotten higher and higher and higher. Now, if on Thursday the price just collapses down through all these levels, well, then at that point, the staircase in the upwards direction has been, destroyed. But as of now, it's still in place. So keep an eye on that. This could very well just be a pullback within a bigger picture type trend. So if you like to play these setups, if you like to play penny stocks, then this is one that I'd say get on your watch list. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and like a lot of the tech stocks, crazy day, very impressive close, but maybe you already see what I'm going to talk about here. Everybody and their brother's uncle. So this is not a great discovery. I'm not trying to imply that this is some sort of fantastic skill I have. Everybody is wondering about that right there. That is a big question mark. That is the reason why a lot of people are going to have it on its watch list. Can the price break through that 200 period moving average right now, which currently valued right there at $955. So $955, again, going to be that resistance that all sorts of people will be watching. If the price can push through $955, next key level to watch from a resistance standpoint after that, going to be up there at $980. In the event the price does get pushed to the downside, key level of support originally going to be right there at, we'll call it the $935 mark. And then if the price pulls back even further from there, next key level after $935, right down there around $921. So overall, those are going to be the levels that I'm going to be paying very close attention to. But you got to think that all sorts of people are watching that pink line. I mean, look at that. Look right where the price bumped its head. So let's see if the price can get the break through it through that level on Thursday. So that wraps up the top 10. If you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool, how it should be used, and why it's just, a very powerful tool in helping to build consistency, then get signed up for the free class. Like I said, it'll be very soon, Thursday, May 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, then help me out by doing two things. Hit that like button, leave a simple comment below. Say hi. Tell me what you traded today. Tell me what you're watching tomorrow. But those two things communicate to me that you enjoy. And as long as I know people are enjoying, then I have no problem at all continuing to put in the required time and effort to get this content out to you. But if I'm just wasting my time because nobody cares, well then, I just won't do it. But like I said, if you do like these, if you would like for me to continue, then hit that like button. And like I said, leave a simple comment below. And again, if you like this tool, if you want to learn more about it, then certainly get signed up for that free class. And hopefully I'll be seeing you soon.